Hello. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Roop Rai, and you're watching Ghar Ki Murgi Dal Barabar on Ideas on Point. And we bring Ghar Ki Murgi Dal Barabar every Thursday right here on TCCN. You can watch us on Facebook and YouTube live at a new time now, 7 p.m., Monday to Friday. Yeah, 7 p.m. because 5 p.m. wasn't kind of working out with my dinner cooking time. Just all honesty, all transparency. You can also follow us on Instagram at TCCN2 for more updates. And of course, please like our page on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, details of which are provided in the caption as usual. And of course, behind the scenes, we have Ali Nizami running this show. Thank you, Ali. In today's episode of Ghar Ki Murgi Dal Barabar, we will be speaking to Pavan again, because he is the Ghar Ki Murgi that's Dal Barabar, about aliens, ET, UFOs, the outer space, the interplanetary sightings, and so much more. But before that, I just wanted to quickly let you guys know that we have been doing local community updates for the last few days, and we were supposed to be speaking to Imam Sayyid Sohrawardy today, who is a known name, not just in Calgary, but all across Canada. But unfortunately, due to some unforeseen circumstances, he had to be pulled away. I mean, he is a busy man with a lot of people that he has to take care of and lead. Unfortunately, he's not here with us today, but we will speak to him sometime, hopefully next week. So I'm going to bring Pavan on into the stream, and we're going to start talking about aliens already. Oh my goodness. And he's dressed as one. Okay. Hi, welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
You know, you're becoming somewhat of a celebrity.
Oh no, I'm not a celebrity. But
No,
but
you're
whoever
becoming.
whoever thinks I'm a celebrity, आप सबके लिए उसके लिए शुक्रगुजार हूँ.
Before we start talking, I quickly also want to mention that if you like and share this video, you will be entered into a draw for $100 in gift card. Well, 2 gift cards. So $100 each. So you will be entered into that draw. So if you like and share this video, you will be winning that amazing prize on Christmas Eve. And it is sponsored by Piyush Girdhar Realtor, 403-590-8595, and also by Gurjyot, who is the IPTV King of Calgary, 403-335-5555. But please do go give them a call if you have any real estate needs or IPTV needs. Once again, Piyush Girdhar Realtor, 403-590-8595, also at icalgaryrealtor.com. All right, aliens. Let me pull that picture up. I hope we have the photo that of the phenomena that was observed a few days ago. Ali, can you pull it up, please? Okay. There we go. So this was a few months ago. I think it was in April that the U.S. Navy spotted this little. I don't have a pointer to point at, but the highlighted little UFO looking thing in the middle of the screen. So they spotted this, the US Navy spotted this, and there were 3 unclassified or declassified videos that were shared with the media, and they didn't know what this was. They could not explain what this was. Can we talk about that to begin with?
Sure, sure. But this is not spotted in April. These were declassified in April, but they were spotted in ranging for last few years. I think this was spotted in 2012 or something. So it was a classified.
The
So it
alien has to get out of his alien gear. All
Yeah.
right.
So it was a classified files. These were classified files, but they were declassified. There was a huge movement by a lot of senators, Congress people, and a lot of people who it was leaked to New York Times, so they had to declassify it. So and if you, I watched. This is just a small clip, but I watched
Yeah.
a very long documentary about this. So in one of these things were flying at a crazy amount of speed, but these jets have a thermal vision camera, so they were watching for some sort of an emission. So if you have an engine, there is a exhaust gases which are at a high temperature. So usually all our moving objects have some sort of an emission. We fly any spacecraft or anything, but they didn't identify any emissions. So these were flying, they're defined. So that reason we have a motion is because of Newton's first law. Every equal and opposite force has a every equal force has an opposite force. So there is no force guiding, so they are breaking Newton's first law of motion here. It is so they are operating at a different level of physics. And in one of the videos, these if you watch that video, there are these things which go into the ocean and then come back up, and then they don't have any spillage, so they don't break the. So these videos are mind blowing. Like this is not by crazy people on internet saying that, oh, we have been doing an alien abduction, and it is by F-16 Navy pilots. They have, this is documented, and these videos are not, of course they're not faked. And now they have become so many, the Navy pilots and Air Force pilots are reporting them on Mars, so that they have a official reporting system in America, in US armed forces. So what are these?
When were these spotted? When were these spotted?
i think
These
in, I think it's 2012.
2012. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead. Keep talking.
Yeah, so these were 2012. So but they were released in April this year.
Yeah, yeah, I remember.
The
It was yeah.
declassified. Yeah. So what are these? No one really knows what they are. How can you explain them?
You can turn your phone off.
Yeah, sorry. So you can't really explain them. There is nothing, because they're like, if anyone on Earth has invented that, then our physics has violated. Like some physicist has figured out how to break Newton's laws of motion. So
So
that
they were
is.
talking something about wind as well. So they were going
Yeah, so
against
they
the
were
wind
going against
direction.
the wind, which is 120 knots, and then they were not feeling any wind resistance. So there was no motion, like you couldn't resist, like the wind almost as if it's not existent to them. They are just breaking through the. Uh,
This would, if it was some, let's say, rock or some like meteor, I don't know, like something in the space, it would not behave this way.
no, it would not behave this way. It would encounter wind resistance, and it would at least decrease some sort of a velocity. It would see the wind. They would see some sort of a. So if two forces are meeting at each other, there would be some sort of a curving down or curving up. You are trying to meet it at an angle, and you are trying to do different things, but they are not seeing anything. And they are moving at different angles. So once they come and then they move 90 degrees, that's not easily possible. So you have to have some sort of a curvature. So they come, they go at 90 degrees. Everything, all the dynamics about these objects say that it's not. There is nothing. Nothing can be explainable with the aerodynamics of flying objects what we have on Earth currently.
Oh, okay. Just a, so you're telling me that this is not just a one-off occurrence, like U.S. Arm. Oh, sorry, U.S. Arm Air Force is, or this was U.S. Navy.
This is US Navy.
Yeah, this is U.S. Navy. So they are spotting this more often.
Yeah, well, I don't know about often, but there are so many of these being reported that they don't. They are created a new system. So that means that it's not like they're flying. There come someone coming up with a report, and it's not that there is a system to report these. Now
Mhm.
there are so many of them.
And what are they?
Yeah, so that's why they're classed unclassified flying objects, unknown flying objects, unidentified flying objects. So whatever that. So is it some sort of an army experiment? But if it's an army experiment, why would army release the video?
Maybe they want to create this intrigue and fear.
Yeah, but this so someone has cracked the a new sort of an engine.
Hmm.
Someone has cracked a new sort of a technology, a mechanics
So
to
I
fly this.
actually like that question that Rasleen just asked. Why is it always US that's reporting alien activities?
Because they have, okay, so this is not some kooks in the desert of Nevada reporting. This is US Army, and the reason why US Navy and Army are reporting this is because they have a very strong system of secrecy and government. So the senators went and petitioned to make this information free. So they
Hmm.
have a very, very tight regulations about what is secret, what is private, what is not private. So this comes from their constitution. So this comes from
Why?
their disbelief of their government.
So if Indian Army, let's say, was to spot this, they would not report it.
No, there is no in any other country. It's not very straightforward to petition the government for information. So India had to really fight for right of freedom act or something. So, but in America, the way the constitution is built, there is a very big suspicion about the government. So
Mm.
there are all these clauses in the government where you can petition government for uh, what the government knows. So
Mm.
there are some really classified, that's why they kept on classifying this. But then there was so much pressure from the very high up senators that they
So
had to release it.
In Canada, if we spot it, or if the Army or Navy spot, it beats the same trouble here in Canada too.
I am not very privy, like I don't know much about what would be the Canada uh, things about Canada way of dealing with, but with in America, because of their strong disbelief of government, this is why they have a very checks and balances.
So Sarah wants to believe in UFO. Do
Long live
you,
and
Pavan?
prosper, and long live and prosper.
We should talk about Star Trek one day.
Yeah, we
Uh,
should.
so Sarah wants to believe, and I'm sure there's a lot. I want to believe. Do you believe? I know you watch tons of UFO shows. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
I do, and but it's not. I do want to believe. It's not about belief though, but it's about. I do really want to believe, and I strongly believe at least that there is a huge that we are not alone. That that there is life, intelligent life. Universe is very big. I would say that there is intelligent life in our galaxy, Milky Way.
Mm-hmm.
So think about this. Milky Way has about 400 billion stars. Just the Milky Way,
Right.
our galaxy, has 400 billion stars. And there were we can go a bit deep into it. How did they come up with a number which I'm going to talk about? They say that 25% of these stars have a planet which is in the habitable zone, like in Earth, away from the at a zone where the plasma of the sun doesn't hit and melt away the water. So this is the most Goldilocks zone or habitable zone. This is CHZ. This is like a circumstellar habitable zone. This is what it's called. So they think that there are 25% of these planets are there. So and there is something called, and it has been classified. A scientist called Francis Drake, no, just Drake equation, and they came up with a probability saying that there is at least in our nearest in our spiral galaxy spiral, there are about 25,000 planets which is a possibility for having life in them.
Mm-hmm.
So there is a huge probability that we are not alone. That I believe strongly.
Yeah, I
And
mean, we're the. Of course, we're not even aware of majority of these planets. Like we haven't even reached Mars, for crying out loud. Like we're
yeah,
still
so
struggling to reach
that's
Mars, so
so
we don't know what's out there.
no, no, and that's a very good point. So to go to Mars, it takes 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
It takes to go through 8 months, and the farthest object, human-made object, which is in the space, is Voyager 1, which was launched in 1977. It it crossed in 2012 or 2013 heliospace, like it crossed the solar system, heliospace. It crossed the solar system boundary. So it took uh, maybe 40 years for it to cross solar system.
Hmm.
So so how long would someone
And we
would it
don't
need?
know the
Mhm.
infinite depths of the
Yeah,
universe.
yeah. So there are so many things we can talk about. And someone said about exoplanets. So there are these exoplanets are the planets which like exoplanets are the planets around revolving around another star. Those are the exoplanets. And there is a huge research, like a huge data set called Kepler. There is a Kepler telescope, which is an telescope in the space, and which is collecting the data, which is looking at the stars, and then they identify the stars which have planets in them, and then they do that by measuring the so they keep focusing this telescope on the stars, and then they keep measuring the brightness. So whenever there are planets rotating around them, the brightness dips slightly. So they can observe how many times that what would be the planetary rotation frequency, uh, everything, all of these things, and then they come up with which stars have planets on them. So these are called exoplanets. And then there are Kepler has measured so many exoplanets, and the data is freely available. You can download the data and you can do your own analysis. But it's just light. They're just measuring the dimming of the light when a planet comes in between the telescope and the star.
Someone agrees with Gary, by the way. Gary and Sarah, we have a lot of believers here. We have a lot of believers in ET, man. So, okay, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Okay, I lost my stream of
Something about
thought.
exoplanets.
Yeah, so there are so many. So the exoplanets. So earlier there were like, oh, can we even detect an exoplanet? Because exoplanets are really far away. You can't really train your telescope that far. But Kepler has made possible, and it is that you can detect that there are many stars have planets in their orbits. So that's not so far fetched. Now the question is, if there are so many stars with so many planets, 25% of them, that's the probability they said, which would be have an earth at a distance from their sun, right, at their star, so that their water is not melted off. That, like, earth has a very like a particular range of temperature, which helps the water not to be melted off. And earth has a lot of different characteristics why earth it has been possible. Like, one thing is
But there
magnetic.
could be many other Earths, is what we're saying.
Oh yeah, there could be many other Earths, and in
Mhm.
Star Trek there is a classification called Class M planets. So they always find Class M planets, and then they would identify these Class M planets, and they say that, oh, these are that means that life is possible in these Class M planets.
And I mean, on these planets, the beings or the life on these planets doesn't necessarily need to have the same requirements that humans do. Like they could be breathing in nitrogen.
Oh yeah, that's right. So that's what, there are so many things. I think we are an organic life form, so that means we are based on carbon and oxygen and hydrogen.
Mm-hmm.
That means that there is water needs to be necessary for our existence. But what happens if there is a silica based life forms?
Mm-hmm.
And in Titan, which is a planet, which is a moon of Saturn, it's a totally methane, like it has methane. So what happens if there is a methane based life form?
Mm-hmm.
So there could be so many life forms, like silica based life form. So there is another uh, there is another sort of an something very similar to a organic life form. A silica is very close to an carbon, so there could be, so scientists think that the next sort of a life form could be a silica oxygen based life form. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like a silicon chip, like a life form.
Yeah.
So there
So
could
it
be
could be
many.
Yeah, it could be. The possibilities are endless.
Mhm.
Rasleen asked another question, which is actually, I was going to come to it. I'm going to put this up. Do you believe Hindu gods had any connection with aliens? Once I saw this documentary about Hindu temples architecture being out of this world, I mean,
No,
I
no,
guess
aliens built pyramids for sure.
pyramids too, right? And there was that ancient aliens in the Mayan
Oh
um
yeah, so
and
so
Stonehenge.
there is a meme. Maybe Ali can look up this meme. There is this guy sitting. I don't think it's aliens, but it's aliens. So there is a History Channel meme going around like whenever somebody, it's aliens, man. So yeah, so that is, I think that is lot of bunkum. Like they, the thing is that you humans have this idea that they are the most smartest people at this current time, but ancient people like they, oh, how can you build such a big pyramid, how can you build such a big temple? they
Mm,
they they just didn't care about human lives. They made people die like crazy, and then they made them carry big boulders up temples and everything. It is, human life was so cheap then. So I don't,
unfortunate. Yeah,
I,
so you don't think it's aliens who built that?
no, no, there is no there. It has been there. Okay, so the only thing you could really come up is like, did they violate any physics principles? But no, and pyramids were the closest thing which they say that it was too big of an engineering marvel, but people tried to replicate building pyramids with the existing technology then, and they could replicate it. Yeah, yeah, that's right.
That's the meme. Uh-huh.
Yeah, so History Channel has this show which they say that anything any ancient is built by aliens. Yeah, so that's that. No, I don't believe that at all. Yeah, I'm not a big believer in that.
Any other questions? Anyone who needs answers to anything outer space? Now is your time. And of course, anyone who likes and shares this video, so your name also gets put into a draw for $100 gift card, which is sponsored by Piyush Girdhar, Realtor. His number I will tell you soon. And of course, Gurjyot, who is the IP King of Calgary. I keep calling him that. Racine is like, oh man, I believed in that story.
Yeah, I also want to believe in that, but we are all believers. join the join the cult. Yeah, so yeah, that's this we are all aliens. This is a very valid theory. So they say that that is a, no one can disprove that. So the one of the theories, like as such, we may not be aliens, but we may have our ancestors, like in bacteria or very primitive life forms, could have hitched a journey on one of the meteorites. So we could have been in one of Mars or some other planet, and we could have come and we could have hitched a ride on the outer space, and then this could have seeded the life in this earth. So that can't be proved, but there are many theories saying that that could have been the case. The earth, the life on this earth, the life on this earth is really uh, seeded by an interstellar or interplanetary or some sort of a outer space organism.
One of my dad's favorite authors was Stephen Hawking. Hawking said that they would not be nice if they found us. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I think so. I totally agree. I just hope that we are not found by aliens, and like aliens are really like, how
Well,
do
if
we
they're coming here, if we're spotting these UFOs, then obviously they know we're here.
yeah. So but let's not go there. Let's not go into that, but let's talk a bit about what would be the how do you trust that? So there are these so humans
Hold
have.
on 1 second. I'm going to be right back. I got to go turn on the heater. You keep talking.
Okay, so what would have happened? Like how? So let's go back a bit into this. So humans have been sending many sort of signals into the space. So since we started putting radio signals, we have been sending into that. More than that, we have launched a spacecraft. Even in Voyager, there is a big plaque putting two human forms. Maybe Ali could find the plaque, just a Voyager plaque about our communication to space. And then there was this our numerics, and two humans, a male and a female, holding hands in peace, and these were sent into the peace, and people were saying that, oh, why are you broadcasting our presence here? And then they had a solar system, and then mark the earth, like it's like come and rob us, like it's sending an address in the space. It's a uh, maybe Ali could find it and he could put it there. So, and everyone is like, well, why are you expecting that they are going to be a peaceful loving? But the other coin says, if someone has achieved, we will talk about it if you want to, beyond light, faster than light travel, they are a very advanced civilization. So they should be really nice to you. That's the hope. But my condition is like, no, I don't think so. What happens if they have exhausted all their resources? If you are such an advanced civilization, you have you have exhausted all the resources, and you find this planet where there is lot of meat available, and then you would come and farm humans and eat humans and do and kill all of us. It is quite possible, and we really don't really know. So I'm glad that no one has found us and no one can come. I'm a pessimist in that sense, that I'm not going to wave big white flags and say, hey aliens, hey ET, come and say hi to me. I would not do that.
Um, but like I said, if we're spotting these UFOs, if we're believing that these things are UFOs,
Hmm.
why hasn't anything happened yet?
Yeah, there is in Star Trek, there is a concept called first contact. So they take a lot of, so in Star Trek, when the United Federation of Planets, like the 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 Confederation of Planets, which is United Federation of Planets, they see a new society. They stay far away from it. They don't contact it unless they think that the society is technologically ready for an outer space travel. And for them, that is warp speed. Like there is a concept called warp speed. That means that they can travel closer to the speed of light. But we will come, maybe we should talk about that. So when they see that this society or this planet, this civilization is ready to that, they get into contact and they make a first contact. And there is a big deal about first contact. There is a huge, so if you want to be like a Starfleet officer, you have to go through a course about first contact. So you have to go through, like, the protocols are very, very strict about first contact. You can't go to a society who are not ready for this and then expose yourself. So there is a
Would if we were to reverse the situation, and if we were to go, humans found, let's say we find life on some other planet, would we go attack them? Would we be nice to them?
depends on, well, what would be the level of that I'm not really sure what we would do. But being a kind human, I would say we should not. But we really don't know what as a human society, as such human society would do. Would they say that, oh, why are we letting someone? Will they attack us? Shouldn't we attack them before they attack us? But would we have the technological capability right now? But as such, right now, as a society, we don't have the technological capability to do any of that kind. We can't even go, even go to Mars. It takes 8 months for two, like, there is no even humans going to Mars. It's not technologically possible currently right now. So for us, going for a interplanetary exploration is not going to be, it's far away.
So much we do not know. Only in the last decade, people have figured out deep sea shrimp existing thousands of feet below when sun does not shine near sea vents. So we haven't even explored this Earth.
Yeah, yeah. So that, but space is much more. It's very easy to get to, like, currently, like, at least not in humans, but we can send, even startups are sending rockets to space. It's a
We
very,
talked about that.
yeah. So that is quite possible.
Mhm.
So, but we should talk about why is it very hard for any aliens to come to Earth? That is the most that's the most important point here. So the nearest star is 4 light years away. That, when you let me explain a light year, it's a the light year is a it sounds like it's a measure of time, but it's not. A light is a measure of distance. So the distance traveled by a light in 1 year is called a light year.
Mm-hmm.
So, so the nearest star to us is 4 light years away. So if you're traveling at the speed of light, it takes four
Mm-hmm.
years to get to that star.
And what's the speed of light again?
Three multiplied by 10 to the power of 10 meters per second.
I thought it was 10 to the 7.
Okay, maybe I got the units wrong or something, but that's really, really
Let me
high.
Google it.
Yeah.
Okay, keep talking.
Yeah, so it takes four if you and you can't really travel at the speed of light because Einstein's theory of relativity says that you would be infinitely long. Like if you're traveling in a spaceship, you get closer to the speed of light, your spaceship becomes infinitely long. So you
Mm-hmm.
can't really break the theory, like you can't break Einstein's theory of relativity. So it is really, really hard to travel in space at that speed so that you could travel from one star system to another star system. So you have to have the something called a warp speed, and in warp speed is it's rather than traveling, yeah, 10 to the power of 8. So I got it
I was
kilometer.
closer. I was
So
closer, like a
yeah,
7 or 8.
I got I got millimeters per second.
No,
Yeah, yeah,
doesn't count.
yeah, millimeters per second. So so yeah, so the warp speed is it's not you're not traveling really at the speed of light, but you're generating so much energy, you're bending the space, you're warping the space. So if the space is like a paper, you're bending the space so that you are creating the distance between here to here is making it really, really less.
Mm.
So Einstein has proved that the gravity waves is because the space is bent. So, but you are warping the space so that you are traveling from here to here rather than traveling all the way here. You're traveling only from here to here. So that's the warping. So you create so much energy, you warp the space. So that much amount of energy is not easily can't be we can't even generate enough energy to get free energy on Earth. Energy is the most expensive
Yeah.
quantity on Earth. So to generate that much of energy, we need to break lot of laws of physics, laws of firstly is thermodynamics laws, and then we have to figure out what to do with energy. And once you get to that level of energy, so in Star Trek, think Chandra two was shot
I love it.
the moonians are shooting moonbeams at it. Oh boy, Kali, please hold on this, man, please. I can't concentrate.
Hold on to these questions.
Give me a second, let me finish whatever. Yeah, so the amount of energy required to warping the space is huge. It's not even conceivable by the amount of joules. We can't really measure it. So once you create that much of energy, then you can think of doing interstellar travel. Before even that energy can be used for like if your energy is free in this world, everything is free. Like you can produce as much food you want to, you can produce everything, and everything is dependent on energy. So in Star Trek, uh, there is a there is a machine I call transducer. I keep forgetting replicator. So there is a machine called replicator. In replicator, you can produce anything you want to. Like you can produce food, you can produce anything you want to in a replicator. And that's why they say that Star Trek is a post-industrial, post-production society. So no one needs to work there. Everyone has a replicator because energy is free. So you can use as much energy to create as much need as you want to. So
So the
that's
summary of everything here is that we're not equipped to travel to space yet.
no, we can we
All
can.
everything that you've said so far results in that we're not ready to travel
Mhm.
to space yet.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
we have to do a lot more work on our physics. Like some theoretical physicist has to solve some basic physics problems here.
Replicator man.
Yeah, replicate. I got it before. Yeah, yeah, I got the replicator.
I swear to God, we need to do like just one Star Trek show.
Yeah, so Star Trek has a lot of cool ideas. So for someone has to for these objects, if they are aliens, they have cracked this sort of some sort of a propulsion system. This is not a normal propulsion system. There is no heat signature, nothing in here. You're not even detecting them properly. So this is, and they travel at crazy amount of speed at crazy angles. They go underwater, come out. So if humans have cracked it, then that would be the craziest. That would be a big invention, and I don't think it would stay secret. I think this is a propulsion system everyone would want their hands on.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're gonna answer the questions real quick here. There's a couple. Okay, let's come back to this.
No, no, no. There is no question. There is no Chandrayaan 2 because our the Chandrayaan, the reason Chandrayaan 2 failed was because the system which their landing system was it's very hard to get a good landing system, and NASA had failed couple of times in Mars and Moon. So they had lot of systems like when you're bouncing, you want to make sure that you land it correctly, and then and also you need to know the gravity exactly where you are landing, and the gravity changes at where you are landing. So there are so many variables, and I'm sure India must have learned it, but it's a failure. It is a failed mission. I don't call it as a failed mission, but it was an unsuccessful mission. That's it. It was technological failure. It's rather than they knew what was happening.
And is there any potential of it becoming a success in the near future?
I don't know that. I hope it does. I hope it does, and everyone is learning all the time, and America and India are cooperating quite a bit in a lot of fields. So Indians would learn a
So
lot of
just to let people know, what was Chandrayaan? Chandrayaan. How do you
Chandrayaan.
Chandrayaan? Like, how do you
Chandrayaan.
say it? How do you say
Chandrayaan.
it? Chandrayaan.
Chandrayaan 2 is an Indian mission to moon recently, and one part is an orbital and one part is a lunar lander. So there is another lunar lander trying to land onto moon, and then the chute opens, like it's like a spear, and the spear opens and the lander goes around and exploring. So that
Mhm.
was really, really cool. It would have been really cool if India pulled that off, but it failed because it's a very, very complex technological mission.
And
It is.
how would it have been beneficial to us, or if it had been successful? Like, what are they trying to achieve with that mission?
Oh, they were trying to look for organic matter. So they were looking for water. So that was the main mission. So they were looking for ice on moon. That was they were
And if
looking for.
and if they find ice and moon, what happens? They'll move
Oh, as
people.
I talked about, like they would like people want to set up a base on moon. So that would be the yeah.
We'll go to Chandamama.
Yeah.
Time travel
Mm.
possibilities.
Yeah, time travel possibilities are, we can talk about it for another thing, but the time travel possibilities are, it's you can't really, I can't say you can't really, but it's very, very, right now, uh it's not possible in the physics we know. That's not possible. Like it's a you can travel in all dimensions, but when it's time, time you can't really, you don't really understand what time is. That's basically it. So they think that time is a, so we people, maybe it gets a bit confusing, but time is a dimension which we don't understand. So we think that there are physics in a string theory. They say that we are living in a 11 dimensional world, and we understand the dimensions x, y, and z. That's three-dimensional world we are traveling, and all the other dimensions is all mixed up, and it's time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not one dimension. So we are traveling, we are moving in 11-dimensional space because we are a three-dimensional being. You can only understand the dimensions which you are in. So if it's a, so if you imagine you are a, like it's getting really complicated here. So imagine you are a two-dimensional being, like you are a paper.
Hmm.
So can a paper imagine a box? No, you can't, right? So paper always is a two-dimensional object. So we are a three-dimensional object. We can perceive things which are only n dimensional. If you're an n-dimensional observer, you can only observe n dimensions, or n less than n
So
dimensions.
we can't observe time because that's a dimension we don't know.
No, we can observe. We are observing time, but we are observing some sort of a quantity, but we are not able to observe the all the other dimensions. So if you are an n plus one dimensional being, we can't see that being. We can't really perceive that.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
So that being can travel back and forth in time because he's or that being is in a four
So
dimension.
there could be people or there could be things or
Hmm.
beings around us
Yeah.
in different dimensions that
Hmm.
we cannot see,
No, no. So
and they
what?
can see us. But can they see us? Because they can
Yeah.
see.
So can you see a piece of paper? Can you perceive a piece of paper, which is a two-dimensional object? You can, right? But
We can see anything under 3 dimensions,
yeah,
3 and under. So
yeah,
anything just 3 and above,
yeah. We can't
can't
perceive.
see. So
No.
there could be other beings
Yeah.
on
So
Earth.
there could be other beings, and the phenomena which what we would see is their manifestation in three dimensions. So if you have a if you so a box, if you put it on it, and you take if a paper is lying on the bottom, all the paper sees is at the same level. It sees another paper there or other being there, and it
Mhm.
tries to go through it, or it tries to interact it. It couldn't interact.
So there could be other beings, let's say, who can see in 6 dimensions or
Hmm.
7 dimensions,
Hmm.
whatever, n number of dimensions.
Yeah.
And they're watching us right
Hmm.
now. They could be in
Hmm.
this room with me
Yeah,
here.
they could interact with you, but you wouldn't know what's interacting with you.
That's creepy.
Yeah, that is so. Yeah, so it goes back to Star Trek. In Star Trek there is a being called Q, and Q keeps on coming in different dimensions and different things. So it's an n-dimensional, n plus dimensional being which you can't perceive. That's why time travel is not for us, because we are a three-dimensional being. And so if you are existing in a four dimensions, then you could see, then you could think of time. If it is a fourth dimension, then you could go back and forth in time, because you are existing in four dimensions. But currently we exist only in three dimensions. Once you
So there is a possibility that there are other creatures or beings around
you
us.
can't really get yourself around that around that idea.
I'm so intrigued with that. I'm so intrigued with that because there possibly could be someone else in this room right now.
Yeah,
These paranormal phenomena that
yeah.
Khalid speaks about,
Hmm.
uh, that that they are able to see me,
Yeah.
but I'm not able to see them.
No. And they can, and you can't interact with them, but they can interact with you.
They can interact with me, but I don't know that they are interacting with me.
Yeah, yeah.
How can they interact with me? Like, are they touching me? Are they picking me up, putting?
Yeah, but the thing is, touching and picking is a three-dimensional interaction, right?
Hmm.
It's
So
not
it
an
could be a
end.
different way of interacting.
It would be of a different, so they could be manipulating your future. Yeah,
Oh.
they could be. So this is where
Is that
spirituality comes.
Yeah, is that where God comes in then,
This
right?
is in Star Trek. That's what it is. The Q could change lot of, like, Q could go and change the future. Q could alter their realities.
Right, yeah.
So and in Star Trek Picard wonders that.
Mm-hmm.
So wonders whether is that God. So
So
so that
Q
Q
is
Q
God.
is Q God, yeah. But Q comes and but Q in that is was very mischievous. He would always come and do things which you don't expect. But that's what it is, and it's a very valid. There is nothing. You're not breaking laws of physics as we know it for having an n-dimensional being, n plus m-dimensional being. M could
We
be
could
greater
talk
than
about
one.
God theory too one day.
Now we could talk about God. Maybe
God
I'll get
theory,
killed
that
for
would
that.
be fun. Oh, that would be fun
Yeah.
conversation. Way to cause panic.
Yeah, but those beings, but those beings is not like, they have been existing. Like, for them, time doesn't matter. Like, it's time is just like,
Wait, okay, we're not guaranteeing that there is something like that, but it is a possibility that
yeah,
there
yeah.
could.
Oh, how can I guarantee? Like, if I,
Yeah,
how
so I
would I
just
know?
wanted, I just
How would I know
wanted
an n plus one being? There is no way for me to know an n plus one being.
exactly. But there is a possibility that there could be this n plus one being who is there, but we can't see them, but they can see us and they're interacting with us, and we are invading their space more than them invading our space.
How are they? How are we invading their space?
I don't know.
There is no space for them. Their space is a three-dimensional entity.
What if they have like 4 plus dimensional space?
Yeah, four plus dimensional. So I don't. So three-dimensional. So multi-dimensional
Barry
being.
thinks Elon Musk is an alien.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people think that. Yeah.
Oh,
What
that's
else? What?
very intriguing. I don't think we've ever even talked. No, we've talked about this more dimensional beings, but
Hmm.
I've never really even taken you seriously on that. But now I'm like, there could possibly be. Yeah, that's very humbling.
Yeah, someone was asking whether how do we know if we have aliens? There is no way to know when if we have aliens amongst us. There is absolutely no way to know. There is a quite a possibility that we have aliens among us, and there is no way to know.
Three.
He's only missing the point five. I'm glad I'm missing the point five.
There's Elon Musk and there's Pavan. So we've identified two aliens so
Yeah.
far.
Oh boy. Uh,
And
I'm
Untitled
legal. I'm
Chapter
not an alien.
explains my husband. I mean, it explains everyone's husband, including mine. Oh, thank you, Sarah. That means so much. Okay. So what is that point five that you're missing, man?
I don't know. I'm glad I'm missing it. I don't want to be an n-dimensional being. So there are these. So there is a very cool picture. I don't know whether I can. Maybe I'll find it and I'll share it with you. So they found a picture somewhere in the museum or somewhere. I forgot. It's like during World War II, and then they could see a guy wearing a T-shirt with cool glasses, which is not available. So they think that he's some sort of a time traveler or an alien, but no one really explains it. But they say that, oh, this is an. But it's a very intriguing picture. Maybe if Ali can Google like a time traveler World War II or something, you can find that picture. That's a very cool picture.
Poor Ali. I'm also Googling at the same time. Maybe I can look it up.
Yeah.
Maybe I can find it.
Well, we covered
Well,
so
there's a
many.
lot of time travel photos. There's tons of them. Like you keep seeing, I think it was uh,
Yeah,
during that,
time.
there's a lot of black and white photos. Like I've seen a lot of photos with
Yeah,
people
so that's the
wearing
photo which really sticks
watches.
out, to me. That like it's very intriguing, and people say that, oh, there are these. This is the goggles were like worn by tank people who would fight in tanks, and there are many explanations, but that's a very convincing picture.
Hmm.
And
There are pictures
oh
with
yeah,
people wearing watches and stuff too.
yeah, I want to talk about this Oumuamua. That's the picture. The other picture I sent you. It's the first interstellar object which was observed. Interstellar, not interplanetary. Interstellar. Yeah, that one. That's the picture.
Hmm. Oh, that
See
guy.
the Yeah, that guy. See that guy.
That could
That guy.
easily be photoshopped.
No, it's not photoshopped. That's not photoshopped. That's a picture which was. It's an authenticated pictures. That's a Keanu Reeves. Oh man, I love your audience. But can you put that picture back up? Who did it, Ali or you?
Ali did it. Ali
Yeah,
did
can you put that picture back up? That's the T-shirt with an M on it, and he doesn't. It's totally his dress is not really representative of the times. It is a very, like, if I am not a big conspiracy theorist, but that picture really convinces me of
Man,
something.
that's so easily photoshopped.
But if it's not photoshopped, like, let's
Yeah.
let's consider not to be photoshopped. Anyways, that's someone. We went on a tangent on time travel here, but I want to talk to about, let's keep it to physics, the realm of physics. So umu Muamua, can you pull that picture up, the second link I sent?
Tell him these things in advance. You can't just
No,
go
no,
and.
the second picture, the second link I sent you.
Oh, you sent me two links. Me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, never mind. I wasn't very aware. I'll pull it up. Keep talking.
Yeah, so in 2019, they were observing, like, people were scanning for asteroids, and astronomers get, if you find an object, you can get to name you get a chance to name the object if you would discover. So people, like, lot of astronomers scan the sky because they want to name the objects.
Hold up, hold up, hold up. I have another interesting comment. I think Anusha will find it very interesting too.
I think South Korea is an alien.
Elon Musk, Pavan, and
I'm in very good company.
very good company of great men.
Okay, okay, please let me finish this.
Okay, go ahead.
It's a very interesting. So, yeah, and they were scanning through it, and then they found a very cool object, and then they mapped the orbit, and the orbit was not around the sun. So
Mhm.
when someone's orbit, when it's not orbiting around the sun, then it's not, is because everything orbiting around the sun are under sun's gravitational pull. This is coming from interstellar space, so it's coming from another star system. So they tried to figure out what it is, and it was a very long. So it must be a kilometer long and a 40 meters wide or something. So its length is 10 times bigger than its width, which is very rare in astronomical objects. They are usually, the length and width are very similar to each other, like usually some sort of asteroids, because that's how their gravitation. So it's a long cigar shaped object, and it is very shiny, and it's traveling, and it's accelerating more than the sun's gravitational pull would do. So there are all these factors. Think that it's like a probe sent by aliens, and the head of astronomy department in Harvard wrote a paper saying that this he believes that this violates every physics principle of an object. It's not a comet, that has been said, because it doesn't have a halo. So yeah, so if you scroll down, there is the, like, that's what it looks like. But people have come up, and an artist's impression is like it's like a big uh, a cigar shaped object, and it's very shiny. It's more shinier than any object which
When was it spotted? Where was it spotted?
it's spotted in solar system. I forgot where in part in solar system it's spotted, but it was spotted in solar system, and it was plotted in April 2019.
And oh, that was recent.
Yeah, that was recent. And
Amazing.
so yeah, so and then this Harvard scientist thinks that
What?
it's a
Okay, okay, okay. Hold on. Clarify what is interstellar and what is interplanetary. Planetary.
Interstellar is coming from a different star system.
Okay.
So
And
you are
interplanetary is within the star system,
yeah,
our
within the
star.
star system. Like interplanetary is we going to Mars,
Mm-hmm.
but interstellar is someone coming from another star system. So Alpha Centauri or something which is the closest star system we have. So
Mm.
it is coming from another other star system, and imagine that, like that, a big object getting kicked out of another sun's orbit. You need so much energy. It's like someone must have launched it. So
Mm-hmm.
how did it get launched? So there are a lot of intriguing questions.
Hmm.
Yeah, so Oumuamua. This is a Hawaiian name for scout. So they think that it's like a probe sent by some aliens to take a look at it. And then they say that the way it was positioned, the way it was everything, they try to cloak it between the sun's gravitational pull. It should not have been detected, but it was detected by sheer luck. Someone was probing that part of the sky.
Yeah, apparently the associate administrator for NASA's Science Mission Directorate in Washington in November 2017, he said, for decades, we've theorized that such interstellar objects are out there. And now, for the first time, we have direct
Mhm,
evidence that it
mhm. Mhm.
exists.
And it was, according to this Harvard professor, it is, if you want, if he said that if I want to cloak a interstellar object, I would just do what they did.
Mm, interesting.
Yeah.
I have another funny one here before. Sorry, did you have to finish something before?
No, no, I think I covered most of it. Unless someone has anything to ask, I can talk about that.
In the other dimension, in the
Oh
fourth
yeah,
dimension.
if we go into four dimension, Modi goes into four dimension. If you think how powerful he is,
I
how much,
know he
yeah,
can manipulate
you would
everything.
make everyone's life. If you think he's making your life difficult in three dimensions, imagine what he would do in fourth dimension. You would not even know what's coming to you.
That's actually true. I'd much rather be in the fourth dimension than three dimensions, actually. That would
Why
be.
not four? Why can't five?
Hey, remove that. No, we're not having any comments. No, no political commentary.
Well,
Okay.
getting into black hole, that's another very interesting. It's
Yes.
not so easy to get
Let's talk
into.
about black holes. We don't have a lot of time. We can
Yeah, but we're not getting it. We can talk about black holes later at
let's
another
talk
time.
about
But
black holes next week. I want to talk about like supernovas, the black
mm,
holes. I think that's super
black
cool.
holes are very interesting. We can
They
talk about
are. I think that would be so much. Yeah, that'd be really cool to talk about. We'll talk about black holes next week.
that.
Man, there's so many things we can talk about. Star Trek, black holes. What was the third one? I can forget. Okay, I'll think about it. Didn't the object show the ability to slow down or speed up?
Yeah, so it was speeding up. So the object was speeding up. So you can really, if it is being pulled by sun, you can exactly measure the acceleration. But it is going at a statistically, like there was a 0.1% or a 0.2% more than the speed of sun. It was going at what the velocity was not explicable by the gravitational pull through the sun. So but then this is not very uncommon. So comets do accelerate usually, but the reason why they are doing it is as they come towards the sun, the ice melts off, and then the water vapor ejects like a rocket phenomena, so they accelerate. But then you could see the halo, like you could see the exhaust gases, you could see the ejections, but here there was no ejection at all. So there was not, the mass kept on, so the mass was not, it was not losing any mass, but there was no ejection, but it still was accelerating. Uh, so the reason why they think that it was accelerating is because they think that it had a solar sail. A solar sail is like a sail with which the sun's particles, the ejecting the sun's particles which hit the sail, and it's like a sail, like a sailboat, and then it would accelerate. So they think that there is a sailboat, there is a solar sail on it.
Hmm. Did you see the comment? So we've got X Files reference going on
Yeah,
too.
folks, I want to believe that's what Fox say. Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. All right. So wrap it up. We don't have any time left because I'm getting texts from Ali. We're close. Yeah. We only have a minute. Anything else you want to add? We need to start. Every time I say this, I'm like, we need to start structuring these things. But I don't know if it'll be fun. So
Yeah,
I
but
just want to
when
tell
you
everyone,
structure it, but the comments
I'm
come and derail the whole thing. So
I don't
then
have
what
any
the point?
intelligent questions to ask because every time I tell Pavan or ask him what we're going to be talking about, he tells me, "Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll, deal with it at the time. So whatever you want to ask me, just ask me." So this is how we come into this show unprepared, which is, I think, cool.
Yeah, like that.
But, but it would be
And
nice if you tell me in advance what we're talking about, and then I can kind of prepare myself and ask the right questions. It'll be more informational. No?
yeah, I don't think it's any informational. It's more entertaining than information here. Like there is more information out there.
All right. I don't think we have any more questions. We're good to go. Well, we'll be back next Thursday, and hopefully, I think we'll talk about black holes. We'll talk about black holes. And no?
No, it's up to you. But I'm saying you were telling me that we should talk about tea.
Oh yeah, we wanted to talk about tea as well. Tea, the evolution of tea. But let's finish black holes. I don't know about next week because it's Christmas week. We'll be back in January, but we'll be talking about something cool again. And this is a lot of fun. Thank you so much for doing this for me. And thank you for not giving me questions in advance. And everyone else will be back
But
again.
you have amazing co-hosts asking all
I
these
know. I'm
good
so
questions.
proud of Sarah, Rasleen, Anusha, Gary, Gurpreet. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. And please, please, please like and share the videos. Please like our page as well on
I
Facebook.
have one thing to say.
And like and subscribe to YouTube as well. As we get bigger, as we grow, we will grow together. And I need all your support. Hanji bolo.
I forgot to add my Urdu bit this
Oh yeah, his Urdu bit. Do your Urdu bit and then we'll say
And
goodbye.
in Urdu, the aliens are called Khalai Makhluk.
Kya?
In Urdu,
Where did you get that?
In Urdu, the aliens are called Khalai Makhluk.
Khalai
Makhluk.
Makhluk.
Yeah.
Khalai Makhluk. Pavan is Khalai Makhluk. Elon Musk is Khalai Makhluk. Sadhguru is Khalai Makhluk. And Modi is the three-dimensional.
Four-dimensional being Q.
We don't know that. But no, Khalai?
Makhluk.
Khalai Makhluk. Well, thank you so much for giving us information on Khalai Makhluk and scaring me that there might be other beings around us. But hey, thank you. Bye. And bye, everyone. I'll talk to you offline. Thank you so much for your support. Is there a Hindi word for aliens? He is an Urdu expert, Rasleen.
I'm an Urdu expert, not English.
He is an Urdu expert.
I don't even know what they say.
Not Telugu, not Punjabi,
Telugu.
not English.
I don't know what aliens are called in Telugu too.
Telugu, that happens to be his mother tongue. He's not an expert, but Urdu, yes. Kya tha?
Khalai Makhluk.
Khalai Makhluk. Khalai Makhluk it is.
Yeah, you learn one thing every day. Urdu word a day. Bye.
Urdu word a day. Bye. Oops.